adjust my body. Now that principle doesn't just apply to this right now. This also goes into my riding. This goes in if I want seat cues or leg cues or vocal cues. And it happens with all that. My body cue right now could be the same as a leg cue or a seat cue. If I always pick up the rein and I always go after him, then I'm never going to get back to that soft seat cue or that back leg cue. So I have to give him the opportunity to do it correctly. So just like in the beginning, when I did not get him to stop and he didn't feel like stopping with my feet stopped, I'm going back and correcting that by shutting down that motor at that hip. So we're just going to work on it here. Shut it down. I want you to shut it down quick. Go forward. Go forward. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down more. Good. Go this way. Forward. Shut it down. Go this way. So we'll work on this just for a minute. Shut it down. Now there he walks off again, so I go to it again. I say, shut it down. Shut it down. Good, right there. Now that he's done it a few times and he's shutting that motor down, I give him the opportunity. I just go with my body, say shut it down. That way I don't have to use this. If I always go to this, I'm going to have to use it every time. I got to go back to my body. So we'll ask again. He did it right. Go forward. Body forward, body forward. Shut it down. Just with my body. Okay, what if I want that softer? What if I don't want to have to move to the hip? I want to go back to just stopping my feet. Same procedure. I already have the lead rope that says move your hip, and then I have the lead rope that says when my body goes towards your hip, the lead rope is going to come on and move your hip, and then I can go to my feet stop, which means my body is about to come toward you, which means I'm about to pick up the lead rope to stop. So if I stop, if he stops and gets it when just my feet stop, then I don't have to walk towards his hip. I don't have to pick up the lead rope. I've got 3 cues that I've set up that told him, move your hip. So I can just keep putting on more and more cues and softening up further and further. I can add my vocal into that, and I can do whatever I want to. I've seen people that have done this by, just jumping off the ground and the horse stops. You can add as many pre-cues as you want, and as many softening ideas that you want to get that better. So we'll go here. So I'll give him the chance. I'll stop my feet, move towards his hip, and say that meant stop your feet. He goes forward, my feet go forward, my feet go forward, my feet stop. He almost got it, he thought about it. I asked him to do it a little bit quicker. Good for you. Go this way. Go forward. My feet are moving, his feet are moving towards this rib cage area right here. My feet stop. He thought about it, he was like, maybe not, but maybe yes. Watch the process. Give him the chance to do it right and correct if you have to. That little hesitation gave him the time to say, I think this is what he wants me to do, but I'm not sure. He thought about it, he processed it, then he did it right, so I'm going to let him sit and say, okay, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Let him sit, and we'll ask again. Go again. Forward. My feet moving, his feet moving. My feet are moving, his feet are moving. My feet stop, look at the hip. Immediately stops, comes on in. Good for you. So I softened that all the way back up to just me stopping my feet. So now we got back to having to pick up the lead rope, having to move towards his hip. Instead, I can just stop my feet. So not only are we improving his locking onto me as a leader and locking onto my body as I'm going to lead him, but we're also improving his mind as he starts to think, okay, this is the process. This is the teaching. This is the communication that says, I'm going to ask a question, and then you're going to search for the answer. Colt will search for the answer. When he gets the answer right, the question goes away. He knows I'm going to do that every single time, and he's going to get it. And eventually, he's going to get it better and better and better, and it's going to get softer and softer. So we play with that side a little bit. We'll go to this side. Okay, so forward. My feet are forward. His feet are forward. My feet stop. My feet stop. I'm going to ask that hip to move a little more. Those front feet are moving a little too much. If the hip moves farther, the front feet stop. Hip move farther. Hip move farther. Right there. Good. Good. So that time I had to correct how the hip was moving. It moved, but Didn't move enough for me. So we go back and go forward. Forward. My feet stop. His feet stop. Right back in. Good job. Good job. We'll go again on this side. Forward, forward consistently. My feet are moving. His feet are moving. His feet are moving. He's watching me. The ears in towards me. My feet stop. He missed it. Correct. Go back to it. Go forward. My feet are moving. His feet are moving. Stop. Good job. Good for you. Okay, so that's just a little bit. You can play around with the rope halter and just kind of play around with the lead line as well. And like I said, it starts to build a communication into his mind, as well as it's fun to do with just working with your horse on the ground. If I got a few minutes and I don't want to ride, I can just get him out, play around on the ground, you know, improve as well as him locking onto me. This also helps with my leading. If I got a horse that's hard to lead or really pushy, this starts to help that as well. It teaches him where he's supposed to be in my space, as well as teach him how I'm going to communicate to him with my body. I'm not up in the saddle working with a bridle and working with my legs when I'm just leading. He's got to learn to deal with my body and how I'm going to communicate to him with my body. So this starts to teach that, so that when we get to the actual leading, he understands very, very well where he's supposed to be and how I'm going to talk to him. Yes? Okay. She asked me, have I taught him to lower his head when he comes into me, or does he just automatically do that? He automatically does it. They just do it. When they start to really lock on to you as a leader, and it's a sign of submission. It's coming in saying, I got it, I'm good. You know? So it seems like everyone that I do, once they start to get this idea really, really well, especially on the ground, they'll just come in and just drop it right down in front of you. And when we do the bridle work, which I'll show you later on in this demo, same thing happens. They'll stop bridle work exercise and they'll just put their head down, and a lot of them, they'll put their head down like Colt did and just stick it right in my chest. It's just kind of what he does, is to say, okay, I'm good to go. Now he's trying to figure out if he's supposed to be on this side when he's leading or that side when he's leading. He's going back and forth, trying to figure out, what do you want me to do? You're not telling me to do anything right now. It's funny, this horse in particular, he's so focused on his work. I've spent 7 years teaching him to work and learn all this stuff, that if I don't tell him to do anything, he's like, he's got to be saying something. There's no way. He has to be saying something. So he just searches for it. He'll look at me. He'll move around. He'll be like, where do you want me to be? I know you're saying something, but I just can't figure it out. So it's a little bit of a gift and a curse sometimes. But I like it because it tells me that he's thinking. He's trying to figure out every single moment that he's with me. What is he trying to ask me to do? What do I have to do? What do I do? So it's a good mentality to build into him. He takes it a little bit overboard, don't you? Okay, so that's some stuff with the rope halter. Let's get into the bridle, because the bridle is really, really help where it helps us with our horses as far as riding goes. Okay, like I said, a lot of these ground exercises that I like to do, it directly relates to my riding. I'm working with this bridle exactly how I would be in my saddle. So I'm teaching self-carriage just like I would be in the saddle. I'm teaching flexion just like I would be in the saddle. I'm teaching shoulder control, softness through the neck, flexion, hind end control. I'm teaching all of this the same way I would exactly in my saddle. When I teach an unbroke horse, when I have an unbroke horse, and say I'll